November Sierra Whiskey 799.
Affirmative.
Confirmed stolen serial taken this morning from Widgery.
Thanks, Nick. Go.
Yep.
Police, pull over! Pull the vehicle over, thank you.
Should I keep after
Just
him?
go. Thomas 508 to Mount Thomas Station. Stolen serial refuses to stop. Permission to initiate pursuit requested.
PJ's is pursuit justified.
Confirmed stolen vehicle, yes.
By permission granted 508, don't take any unnecessary risks.
Right, stolen serial continues at speed down Widgery Road.
Mount Thomas received, what's your speed?
120 accelerating.
120, boss.
Idiots.
No, don't slow down.
No,
Don't
the
slow
boss said
down.
no risks. Oh, God. Mount Thomas 508 to BKC, we request an ambulance urgently.
Bastard!
Repeat,
Could have
ambulance
killed your mate, you
urgently on
idiot!
the Widgery
Boy,
Road,
you
just
could have
before
killed
the
us!
Black Gully
Get the
Tunnel.
ambos!
They're on their way.
Oh, they call us from the hospital?
Yep.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hey! Can I go home now?
All right, mate.
Can I go home?
Where'd you get the stolen car from?
I've been in an accident.
Yeah, which you caused. Where's your licence? All right. Tape recorded interview between Senior Detective Hasham and Dean Hartley at 4:31 p.m. Now, Dean, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about a motor vehicle accident you've just been involved in. I must inform you you're not obliged to say or do anything, as anything you say or do may be given as evidence. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
Yep.
Oh, so this is our speed merchant, eh?
Yep, Dean Hartley.
Proud of yourself, son?
How's the other one?
Maggie reckons he's not too good. He's still unconscious.
He'll be okay, right?
What do you care?
You young blokes, you reckon you're immortal, don't you? Charges?
Dangerous driving for starters, car theft. Might even be involved in our spare parts racket.
I don't know what you're talking
Don't
about.
give me that.
Yeah, all right, PJ. Sit down over there. Any priors?
A couple of children's court matters and one drunken disorderly since then.
Right. I said sit down.
Ow!
What's the matter?
My shoulder, it hurts.
Yeah, sure, mate. Sure it does.
No,
You better
it
get the
does.
doctor to check him out.
No, he's trying it on, boss. He was fine on the way over here, and he was fine at the crash site, wasn't he?
Yes.
He's all right.
All right. Better safe than sorry. McKinley Cooper, take Mr. Hartley over to the hospital.
Definitely senior sergeant material, note the firm and decisive manner.
Come on, Dean.
You'd better check out the crash vehicle, thanks, Doyle.
A Falcon 1995 model belonging to Lance Pritchard of 14 Grove Street, Widgery, taken from outside his front door, boss.
Same MO as the others.
Yeah, it was spotted outside the old wrecker's yard.
And he took off when he saw us.
Probably going to get stripped down for parts.
Where are you going?
And have a chat to young Dean Hart.
Hang on.
That was the hospital. Dean Hartley's staying in overnight. He's broken his collarbone.
Not such a good time for you to have one of your little chats, PJ.
The boss is right.
Yeah, I suppose so.
In the meantime, I'd like Pritchard's neighbours checked out. Somebody might have seen someone hanging around that Falcon of his. And could somebody try and find out who owns the wrecker's yard?
And you'll be okaying the AT, will you there, boss?
What are we, clock watchers?
Well, you know.
Mind you, some of us seem to have stopped work already.
Oh, I'm sorry, boss. It's my sister, Judy.
Oh, really?
Sorry, a squeak.
Oh, never mind. First thing tomorrow morning will be okay. I suppose we could all do with a beer anyway.
So I hear congratulations are in order.
What?
Your promotion, senior sergeant.
Who told you that?
Ah, my sources.
I suggest you check their reliability in future.
You mean it's not true?
Not yet, it isn't.
Well, I thought it'd
And I'd
be.
appreciate it if people didn't behave as if it was.
Come on, he'll be all right with your connections. You'll be home free.
Or high and dry. Just leave it, will you?
Sorry I spoke.
Yeah, it's the old Croydon modesty.
Nick.
Sorry. Sorry.
So I said to her that Mum doesn't want a dumb Persian rug for her birthday. It's got to be some fun thing.
I may have a bit of fun with the Persian rug.
Don't ask me, I don't go in for that sort of thing, mate.
Oh, what sort of thing?
Oh, just ignore these guys. What do you want to give her?
See, I don't know, but something like a mystery flight or a trip overseas or something. Because if we all pitched in, we could afford it.
Yeah, true. I mean, you could always ask her what she wants.
That defeats the purpose of it being a surprise.
Well, that's better than sending her off to Timbuktu when she'd actually prefer the Persian carpet. That's exactly what Judy said.
There you go. Get that into your mate. That'll clear you up.
That little jerk could have killed us today.
Drink your beer and
No,
talk
by
about
the time I finish with him, Dean Hartley's going to wish he'd never been born.
PJ, what did you do to Dean Hartley?
Nothing.
That's not what Monica Draper's saying.
I've just taken a statement from a Mr. and Mrs. Ed Hartley. They came to see me this morning to complain that their son, Dean, was questioned while in shock and refused immediate medical treatment.
No, that's not true.
I think that's a touch exaggerated, Inspector. I was here when he was brought in. It wasn't apparent he was in shock, and as soon as he mentioned his shoulder, we sent him to the hospital.
You were at the crash site, were you, Sergeant?
No.
And there's still the question of the high-speed pursuit, which may have contributed to the accident.
I gave permission for that.
Justifiably.
Well, it was a stolen vehicle, Inspector.
With a 22-year-old behind the wheel, panicked into driving at a speed he couldn't handle.
Inspector, we kept well back and we slowed when necessary.
Not according to Dean Hartley. He says you were right on top of them, and that's why Broderick Vickers lost control of the vehicle.
Broderick?
His mate, the driver.
No. Dean Hartley was driving that car.
Well, he says not.
Well, then he is bloody lying. I'm telling you now, Dean Hartley was driving that car, wasn't he?
I think so. I was concentrating on the road.
Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all because I've got it on tape.
Tape?
Yes, I interviewed him at the scene of the accident.
You mean when he could have been on his way to hospital? Anyway, he's out of shock now. He'd like to make a full statement.
All right, well, I'll go over there and take it.
No, I
if you like.
don't think so. Not with your current attitude. Come on, Constable. You and I can do the honours.
What the hell's the matter with that?
I was just walking on the road when this car pulled up next to me.
The Falcon.
That's right. It was Brod. He asked me if I want to go for a drive with him.
Well, there you go. Dean wasn't driving. It was Brod.
It's possible, Mr. Hartley, that the boys may have changed places.
That's enough, Constable.
I was just trying to explain to Mr. Hartley that...
I don't think we need your opinion at this stage, if you don't mind. We're here to listen to Dean's side of the story. Go on, Dean.
Yeah, well, like I said, he asked me if I want to go for a ride, so I said, why not? And we just took off, with Brod driving.
You didn't know the car was stolen?
No idea. I wouldn't have got in if I had, now would I?
Look, I don't care what he says now. At the accident site, he admitted he was driving.
He says you pressured him into confessing.
No.
You did everything by the book?
Yeah.
You sure of that?
I can't... All right, I was angry, but what he told me freely. Now, you just listen to the tape.
I think we better do just that, Detective. We better have Dean in as well, just to show everything's above board.
What about his broken collarbone?
All fixed. He should be out of hospital by now.
Excuse me, boss. Henry Bolton's just been on the phone.
Who?
That amusement arcade manager's been very eager to cooperate.
Right. What's his problem?
He's got a schoolgirl truant down there. He thinks she's been shoplifting.
All right, check it out. Take McKinley with you. Sounds right up her street. Coffee?
Thanks.
So she didn't actually steal anything, did she?
No, but she was loitering, and you told me to keep an eye out.
Loitering? I was hanging out. Is that a crime or something?
Depends on what you're hanging out for, doesn't it? Well, shouldn't you be in school?
I don't go to school anymore.
Is that why you're wearing a school uniform?
Got to wear something, haven't I? Expect me to go around naked.
How old are you?
18. How old are you?
That's none of your business, and you're not 18.
I'm young looking for my age. How old's he? It's about 100. Who's your father?
What's your name?
Iris.
Iris what?
Iris Starfighter.
Where do you live, Iris Starfighter?
I refuse to answer on the grounds that may incriminate me. I claim the 5th.
This isn't New York.
You ain't kidding. It's the pits.
Oh, come on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know what it sounds like, eh? Hey, cheers. Thanks very much, mate. Try Lucy's Street.
Finished your Vicky, Lucy?
What? My name's Iris.
Oh, yeah, sure. My name's Shane Warne.
So show us your googly.
Come on, we've checked. Now, you've been wagging, haven't you?
I refuse to answer on the grounds...
Yeah, all right. We know all that. Well, we're going to take you back to school anyway, Lucy.
Oh, well, you win some, you lose some.
Just before you go, empty your bag, will you?
What?
Empty your bag. Just a word to the wise. If you're thinking about taking up a career in crime, don't start by stealing the sergeant's jockey bickies.
Come on.
Hey, I brought Dean in to hear the tape. My wife, Linda.
Hello. Oh, Detective Hasham, this is Mr. and Mrs. Hartley.
Hello.
And, of course, you know Inspector Draper.
How do you do?
Yeah, of course.
Dino, come on through, mate.
Sweet.
Hey, hang on. What about us?
Sorry?
His mother and father, shouldn't we be present?
Well, he's not a minor. He'll be fine.
I don't care if he's a minor or not. I want to hear that tape, and that boy's just out of hospital.
He'll be perfectly all right, Mr. Hartley.
Oh, yeah, like the last time you looked after him.
Sorry, hang on.
No, you hang on, you bully. I've got every right to be in there.
That's enough,
Now,
Mr.
get out of my
Hartley.
way.
Mr.
Get out of
Hartley,
my way!
for goodness sake.
Right, it's assault.
What's going on?
This clown tried to
You couldn't be a
assault us.
clown.
Let him go now.
PJ, my office now.
Please, you've got to let me
Leave
explain.
it. All right, PJ, take a few deep breaths and try and get yourself under control. Mrs. Hartley.
Please don't charge Ed, Sergeant. It's not his fault. He just gets worked up. He's a very emotional man.
Is that what you call it?
We can't just allow people to go around taking swings at the police, Mrs. Hartley.
I know. He wouldn't do it normally. It's just anything to do with Dean gets him really worked up. I think it's the guilt.
Guilt?
Blames himself, thinks if he'd been a better father, Dean wouldn't be in trouble so often.
Well, there are no guarantees with parenthood, Mrs. Hartley.
No, I know. I think it's going to be so simple when you adopt a little baby and then it grows up.
Sergeant, I think Mr. Hartley should be allowed to hear the tape if he wants to. Has anyone any objections?
Right, this is the tape-recorded interview made at the scene of the accident.
Well, we're waiting.
Tape's gone.
I've searched him, boss.
And? Anything?
It's clean.
So where is it then?
I bet she took it.
Why would I do that?
To cover for him. Because you know the tape proves I'm right, that he hassled me.
That's a lie. If she'd taken it, you would have seen her, wouldn't you, smart-ass?
Not me, I was looking out the window.
Oh.
Well, I think Dean's got a point. I think the constable should be searched.
Any objections?
No.
Yeah, well, I have. It's not on. It's not on.
Maggie, are you sure you don't mind?
Not if it'll help clarify the situation, no.
Right, Cooper. If you'll show Dean and his father out.
So you locked and cover for your own? Nah, I think we should see this.
Me too.
All right, you two, out. On your way. Come on.
Look, it's obvious a little creep took the tape. It has to be...
Calm down, PJ. This one we play strictly by the book, all right?
Nothing.
Well, what did you expect?
That just leaves you, Detective.
What are you talking about? You saw me bring the tape recorder in here, didn't you?
I only have your word that the tape was inside.
You're calling me a liar, eh?
PJ.
Thank you, Sergeant. If you wouldn't mind.
All right, but you're wasting your time.
Nope. Doesn't seem to be anything anywhere.
You satisfied? Wouldn't mind an apology, thanks.
We'll decide that later. You could have got rid of the evidence even before you returned to the station.
But it's evidence. Why would I get rid
Because
of
you
it?
knew it was obtained under duress.
No, I'm not standing for
All right,
this.
Hasham,
No,
that's
she's
enough.
trying to railroad
That'll
me
do,
into
I said. That'll
something.
do. Get out of here. Go on, all of you, out. If PJ says the tape was in the cassette, then it was. And Inspector or not, I'd appreciate it if you didn't question his integrity in front of his colleagues.
But the fact remains that this mysterious tape has apparently vanished into thin air. So where is it?
I don't know. Look, just give me a few minutes, will you? All right, a little bit of old-fashioned police methodology, a crime reenactment. All right, PJ, you brought Dean in and you had the cassette player. Where did you put it?
Yeah, all right. Well, Dean was sitting over there, and I put the tape recorder on the desk.
Okay, Adam, you can be Dean.
Typecasting, eh?
And you can be his father.
I did.
Yeah, come on, Adam, this is serious. Now, sit down.
Sorry.
Okay, PJ, now you and Mr. Hartley were out in the main office. Take us through what happened, and Maggie, you show us what you did while this was all going on.
Yeah, all right. Now, Mr. Hartley said he wanted to be in on the interview. I said he couldn't. I resisted. He threw a punch, and that's when you stepped in.
Yeah, I came up to the door to see what was going on. I opened it up. Dean came up behind me. I told him to go and sit back down, and then I turned back to see what was going on.
Long enough for Dean to take the tape out of the cassette player.
That's what I'm saying.
Fine. The $64 question is, what did he do with the tape?
So the fact is we're getting nowhere, right?
It's Dean. It has to be.
So what did he do? Swallow it?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, I don't intend to institute a 24-hour toilet watch, so For the time being, we'll have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I don't understand why we're giving the little bastard anything.
PJ.
No, listen, boss, he's driving a stolen car. He failed to stop. He was way over the speed limit when he crashed the car.
Failure to assist.
Exactly, failure to assist. Now, his mate was nearly dead in the car, and we think he's involved in a spare parts racket.
But you can't prove any of it without the tape. And anyway, even if he was driving, the question of the high-speed pursuit and the way he was treated by you at the site still needs to be investigated.
With the bias in his favour, of course.
I beg your
Look,
pardon.
this jumped-up little crim is making these wild accusations, and everyone's taken this gospel, even by our senior officers.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that, Detective. I want to go and take a look at the Falcon and the accident site.
All right, Cooper.
We'll get someone out there as soon
I'm
as
busy,
we can.
boss.
That can wait.
Okay, thanks very much. Nick, that was the high school. Lucy Street apparently didn't make it till lunchtime. She's gone. Thanks, Mr. Bolton. If you do see her, can you please give us a call?
Yeah, OK.
Excuse me. You're looking for truants, are you?
I'm looking for a girl, yes.
Right. Well, what's her name?
Why?
Well, I might be able to help you.
I think you'd know her.
Yeah, could do.
So do you hang out in arcades a lot, sir, do you?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think you understand.
Thanks very
Mine-
much, but I'm sure we'll manage.
Piglet won't be told.
What's that like?
Some her. Any luck?
No.
Look, I've actually had an idea. You know how she calls herself Iris?
So?
Well, that's the name of one of the characters in this new game called Death Wish, right? All the kids are into it.
So?
So, she was playing it here earlier. And there's another one down at that new coffee shop. I know, because I've got high score on it.
So? G'day there, Starfighter.
Beat the highest score yet?
I'm not Shane Warne. Shouldn't you be practicing your wronging?
There's no need to. I've got me very own wrong than you. Well, watch it, son, will you?
What do you know? The old place hasn't changed a bit.
Oh, no, not you again.
Hi, Sarge. Any Vickies?
Didn't you eat them all last time? Get her out of here, ASAP.
All right, get on to a mum and then Human Services.
Righto. Lucy, do you want a Coke?
Nothing stronger.
Oh, don't push it, sweetie. Look, I'm going to phone your mum, so what's your number?
Don't bother. She doesn't care.
Of course she does, she's your mum.
What are you, one of the Brady Bunch or something?
I mean, if there was a tape in the recorder...
It was.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to be logical. Settle down. If there was a tape in the recorder when Dean and I were in the interview room waiting for you to come back in, and then it wasn't there when you switched it on...
Which meant Dean must have taken it.
Yeah, but he was searched and so was I, and you don't really think that he swallowed it, do
Well,
you?
he could have, but I doubt it.
And then I send him back to sit down, so he's taken the tape out of the recorder on the way back, and he's put it where? Not in his pockets, not in his shoes,
Well, he didn't have a
not
bag.
anywhere else. What did you say?
Yes, he said he didn't have a bag.
No, he didn't. But Monica did, didn't she? The black one, where did she leave that?
Didn't she have it with her?
No, she left it on the back of the chair when she went out of the room. The little bugger's put it in a bag.
You're right.
Get a shot of this, will you, Constable? What are you two doing here?
It's okay, we're not going to interfere.
Should hope not. So what do you want?
May we have a look in your handbag, Inspector?
Why?
We think the tape might be in it.
Don't be ridiculous. How?
Dean.
Nothing. In here?
Careful. Fingerprints.
God.
Great.
My ass, all the answers. Don't mess me about, matey. I'm not in the mood, okay? Just get on with it. Did you hear me ask you to pull over? No. You looked me straight in the eye. I thought you was someone else. Or someone else with a flashing light and a siren? I thought you was going to ram us. I just wanted to get away.
There you go. It's obvious he was driving.
Well, he doesn't actually say so, and you never actually asked him.
I didn't have to ask him. I knew he was driving.
He doesn't actually deny driving, nor does he deny stealing the vehicle. I must say, I agree with PJ. It sounds pretty obvious to me.
Well, whatever you may think personally, Sergeant, this tape is not admissible as evidence.
Why not?
Because what's also obvious is that it was obtained under duress while the boy was in shock.
No, that is rubbish, Inspector. I cautioned
All
him.
right, PJ, let's just listen to the rest of the tape, shall we?
Except what you really tried to do was road.
Well, if Dean's prints were there, they're not anymore.
Or maybe it was deliberate.
Deliberate? What are you talking about? Oh, come off it, Mags. Monica Draper is not going to spoil evidence to protect a little toe rag like Dean Hartley. No, it's me. I'm telling you, it is me. She hates me. She's always hated me. She wants to drop me in it.
You know what, Detective?
What?
You're paranoid.
Oh, come off it. What's paranoid? She hates me. I mean, she hates me. She's always hated me.
I rest my case. Can I get you something?
Yeah, coffee.
Okay. Mum, what are you doing here? Something wrong?
No, kitten, stop worrying. Just thought I'd pop in for a chat.
Oh, well, come on in then.
No, I won't disturb you.
You look good.
Box of birds.
Hi, Mrs. Mac.
Hi, love. I thought we should have a talk about this surprise present.
But, Mum,
You
is
know
this
what I'd really like?
What?
Nothing. Just all of you, home under my roof for a real slap-up McKinley party. Do you think you can organise that?
I could, but that's not the...
But nothing, kitten. You just get them all there and I'll even pretend to be surprised. How's that?
Okay.
Love you.
I love you too. That is really annoying.
Is that your mum?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I should have introduced you.
Doesn't matter.
She's so hopeless.
All right, Lucy, what is it this time?
Excuse me, can I help you?
What do you care?
Oh, I care when I have to be dragged down to the police station, I can tell you that much.
You're Lucy's mother.
Yeah. Although what I have done to deserve a selfish, inconsiderate little brat like her,
Well,
I
you
just don't
shouldn't
know.
have had me then, should you?
Yeah, well, you can say that again. Look, I've had enough of this. Come on, out.
Hey, hang on, you're hurting her.
I'll hurt her, all right. Wait till I get her home.
Look, just let go of her arm.
What's it got to do with you?
The child needs care, not yelling at.
Oh, you're an expert, are you?
No, I just want the best for your daughter.
Yeah?
going on here?
Well, she's my daughter, not yours.
That's right, any kind of mum wouldn't treat her like that.
Hey, she's got no right to talk to me like
madam,
that.
You're right. She's got no right to talk to you like that, okay?
Look, all I was trying to say is
Why don't you... You've said enough, I think.
All right. You want to play mother? Fine. She's all yours. You can have her.
I don't care. Stuff it.
Lucy, I'm
Can I
sorry.
have a word with you, please?
Your mum's got a bit of a temper, hasn't she? You know, grab a drink while she cools down, and I know there's a bit of a stash of Tim Tams too. Come on.
What's going on?
You saw what was
we're
going
not
on. That-
surrogate parents, all right? I mean, just do as the boss says. Get rid of that kid. Get on to the social worker.
Fine. Yes, I understand that he's busy, but so are we. No, yes, you told me that he's new, but that doesn't... Fine. Can you just ask him to get down here as soon as possible? Thank you. Who's that? Human Services. They think they're the only ones with problems. Oh, looks like they're not the only ones. Oh, no, the poor kid. Can you imagine having a mother like that? Make you wish you'd been adopted out at birth.
Didn't help Dean Hartley, did it? I reckon he's adopted.
Yeah, is he?
Yep.
Well, that might explain a few things. Listen, did you know that Dean was adopted?
Mm-hmm. Why?
Would you agree with me that Monica's been acting strangely over this Dean Hartley business?
Oh.
It's almost like she's got a personal investment in it. Maybe a family connection?
Or she's protecting the kid for a mate.
Exactly.
Well, knowing Monica's ambition is probably somebody in the top brass.
So is it worth checking out? I mean, it'd be good for us to know where she's coming from.
Yeah.
He practically accused me of taking the tape myself and then messing up the evidence.
Directly?
Not in so many words, but it was certainly implied.
All right, I'll have a word to him. And I apologise. Look, nobody doubts your integrity, Monica. I'm sure Hartley just took advantage of the situation, although how you have to get the tape back from your handbag, God only knows.
Excuse me, boss. Dean Hartley's here for Inspector Draper.
Good. There are a few things I need to clarify in his statement.
Yeah, and we need a signature.
Precisely.
It's McKinley, Constable Dash McKinley from the Mount Thomas Police Station. Yes, that's right. I did call before. Did you pass on my message? Right, fine. Thanks very much. Morons. Hey. The Department of Human Services. They're a complete waste of time. Can I help you, Mr.
Oh, Ryan. Tim Ryan. I'm a care worker. Department of Human Services. And a complete waste of time, apparently.
What were you doing at the video arcade?
I was just seeing one of my clients. They find it less intimidating than the office. Well, I guess you must be Lucy, huh?
I'm sorry, but how do I know that you're the real thing?
Yeah, you could be anybody.
Right, you want some ID then? Yeah.
Timothy Aloysius Ryan.
That's
Child
Aloysius.
Protection Worker, Department of Human Service.
Did you love it? Well, you happy, Constable D.E. McKinley? Oh, I wonder what that's hiding.
My name's Dash.
Oh, right. Well, come on, Lucy. Let's see if we can sort this mess out, hey?
Sure it is.
You know, you should have called me a little bit earlier, Dash, and told me what was going on down at the arcade. Actually, it's a pity that you didn't give me a chance to tell you exactly who I was.
Yeah, that's right. Hartley, Dean, born 12/1/76. Yeah, that's right, the original. Great. Does it have a father's name? No father's name. All right. What about a mother's name? Would you mind repeating that? Where's the inspector?
In the interview room.
I'll have a word, Inspector.
When I've
I'm sorry,
finished.
this
I
is
said
urgent.
when I'm
It's improper
finished.
for you to be conducting this inquiry. I'm sorry.
You have been busy, Detective.
PJ, what are you doing here?
It's all right, Sergeant Croydon. Detective Hasham's just challenged my independence on this matter. Would you like to tell us what you've discovered, Detective?
I don't think it's my...
No? Then I will. Dean is my son.
He's your son?
I gave him up for adoption 22 years ago. Which is why I took the tape.
But when did you take it?
Earlier, just after Hasham and I had set up the tape recorder in the interview room.
So you're saying you took the tape so that it couldn't be used in evidence against Dean Hartley?
Because he's my son, yes.
How long have you known that?
I found out a few years ago.
Did he know who you were?
Not as far as I know.
I just don't understand.
Understand what? I want to protect him if I could. You're a father, Tom. You should be able to understand.
Yeah, but... I mean, after 22 years, why now?
I was 16 years old. Country girl, strict religious parents, major scandal. I was packed off down to Melbourne to my aunt. And as soon as he was born, he was taken away from me. It was covered up like some shameful disease, something never to be mentioned again.
But you still went looking for him?
Couldn't help myself. Couldn't stop thinking about him. So I tracked him down to St David's and had myself transferred to the area. I knew I had no right to interfere. I thought it would just make things worse. So I did nothing.
Until now.
Until now. That's it. Shall I call ESD or with you?
Let's sleep on it, shall we?
I can't let you do that, Tom.
This is my station, Monica. I make the decisions. We'll talk about it in the morning.
Okay, so we'll do our very best. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry it's so short notice.
It's all right, no problem. Everyone coming?
Yeah, David's even coming down from Mungee Court. Can you
Wake
believe
up.
that? Oh.
You really got it in for me today, haven't you?
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see you too. Listen, before you ask, Lucy's gone back to live with her mother. No thanks to you.
Wouldn't you be better off somewhere else?
Like where? Huh? In care, you mean? Knowing that her mother doesn't want her. You got any idea what that might do for the kid's
Well, it
self-esteem?
can't be worse than living with that level of conflict.
Have you ever been in care, Dash?
No.
No, you wouldn't. No, you'd have nice middle-class parents, eh? Big house in the suburbs, 2.2 kids, family dog, huh?
We're farmers, actually. My mum was widowed when I was a baby, and I'm the youngest of 9.
Well, what about the dog?
5 sheepdogs.
Oh, right, big farm. But you obviously got on well with your mother, huh?
Well, that's none of
See,
your
you're one of the
business.
privileged ones, Dash McKinley. Now, if you really want to help a kid like Lucy, You gotta stop expecting every family to be as perfect as yours. Thanks for the drink.
What I don't understand is why she suddenly decided to risk stealing the tape. I mean, son or no son, it just doesn't add up.
And she had the tape in her handbag. Now, why didn't she dump it somewhere?
Indeed.
Now, if she wanted to get Dean off, well, why would she go back to the accident scene and look for more evidence?
Oh, hang on, she's actually admitted to taking the tape.
No, I think she's lying about the whole thing. I think Dean took it.
But when she found it in her handbag, she decided to help him by smudging the prints.
Exactly. Once you come in tomorrow, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Oh, hang on, am I hearing this correctly? You're actually going to help Monica Draper?
Maggie, I think even Monica Draper deserves a go, don't you?
You're wasting your time, PJ. I've said all I'm going to say.
You're protecting her, aren't you? Listen, Monica, he's an adult. He's responsible for his own actions. No matter how much you think you've let him down, do you understand what I'm saying?
Don't patronise me, PJ. I know what I'm doing. Anyway, why are you so concerned? I'd have thought you'd have jumped at the chance to knock me over.
Well, perhaps you don't know me as well as you think you do, eh?
We've got no choice. If she still insists she's guilty, we have to call the SD.
Just give me a bit longer, boss.
To do what?
I just want to talk to somebody. I won't be long.
She's really gone into bat for her.
Oh, that's PJ, justice first.
You knew that she was your mother all the time, didn't you, Dean?
Did
and
I?
that you put the tape in the handbag. I mean, she's not going to dob you in. I mean, she's your mother.
That's your theory.
Am I right?
You're the detective.
No, you listen to me, Dean. Now, we know that she's protecting you, and she probably smudged the prints off that tape, which were yours, weren't they?
You don't say. Well, that's her problem, isn't it?
Oh, no, mate. It's not her problem, it's yours. So move.
What's up with you, mate? I mean, is this woman willing to chuck in her whole career to protect you, and you're going to let her do it, are you?
Well, people do what they want to, don't they?
So you're still saying that you didn't take the tape?
I'm saying it's got nothing to do with me if... What's her name? Draper starts playing games.
This is not a game to her, mate. Have you ever thought how she must feel about this, have you?
I reckon a woman who'd give her baby away wouldn't feel much about anything.
I don't really think you believe that, Dean. What's up?
So what's happening in there?
Dean Hartley is helping the police with their inquiries.
Be careful, PJ. This could look like harassment.
Just trying to get at the truth.
Which is dangerous driving and theft of a motor car at this stage, nothing more.
And the tape?
Stick to what we can prove. That's my advice.
Mount Thomas Police, Senior Constable Schultz speaking. Rightio. Where's this? Okay, wait a tick. Got some teenagers acting suspiciously at Paget's Lane. You two, please.
Yep, no
Have
problem,
someone down
away.
there straight away, sir.
Hey!
Hey!
Lucy! Come back here! Come back!
Right, girls, stop!
Hey, you right? It's all right, come on. Ugh. Come on, it's all right. Sit up, sweetie, sit up. Come on. It's okay. Come on, in the car. Is it Street? Now what? It's Lucy.
Surprise, surprise.
She's in the hospital.
Hospital?
She was sniffing aerosol and she collapsed. She needs you immediately.
Was she going to be all right? She's not going to die, is she?
No, she'll be okay.
No, then I can't come. Not now.
Why not?
Look, she is doing this deliberately. You do understand that, don't you? She knew I was taking the boys to see their nana. But she's not going to spoil it for them, not this time.
Mrs. Street, she needs
No,
you.
look, this is the last straw. First police and social workers, and now this. No, she can wait.
She's your child.
Yeah, and so are these two. And this time they come first.
She's lucky she's not dead from heart failure inhaling that stuff. What did the doctor say?
Oh, Zoe says she's going to be okay. She's getting her a psychiatric assessment.
Oh, hopefully that'll help things.
Yeah, but a shrink's not going to solve her biggest problem.
Have you contacted her mother?
Yes, and she had a prior engagement.
You mean she's not going to go and see her?
No.
Well, you've done your job. Let the experts do theirs.
Actually, can I go back to the hospital? I promised.
Just don't be all day. Mr. and Mrs. Hartley. Where's Cooper?
Going to check on Rod Vickers.
Tell him to get back here. PJ, the Hartleys are here.
Right.
You better ring your friend from Human Services before you go.
How much longer are you keeping that boy in here?
He's free to
You're
leave.
going to charge him or let him go?
I said he's free to leave, sir, but we'll be in touch.
And what does that mean?
Exactly what I said, Mr. Hartley.
Hey, Inspector. Anything happening about my complaint yet?
What complaint's that, Dean?
Police brutality. When this guy arrested me.
Don't push it.
That's your advice then, is it, Inspector?
You better go while you've got the chance.
Come on, Dean. You better go and see Brod.
Inspector. See you around.
Lucy. Where's my mum?
I'm sure she'll be here as soon as she can.
No, she won't. She only cares about my half-brothers. She hates me.
Sweetie, that is not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's just that we've had a little bit of trouble trying to find her, that's all. She'll be here.
I'm sorry, officer. I wish I could help.
Didn't mean to disturb you, Mrs. Vickers. When your son regains consciousness...
I'll contact you.
Dash, how's Lucy?
Well, I had to lie to her about her mother coming. I don't think she believed me.
No, I don't think she did.
Lucy? Hey, come back here! Lucy, sweetie, come here! Stop her! Stop it, girl! Everything's gonna be all right, sweetie.
No, he's lying. It never will be. You lied. Mum's not coming.
She will be here, I promise you.
She hates me.
No, she doesn't.
What do you know? What do you know about anything?
Yeah. Who knows anything about mothers?
I haven't changed my mind, Tom.
You sure?
If you don't ring ESD now, then I will.
If you insist.
Excuse me, boss. Dean's got something he wants to say.
I did it. Everyone was looking the other way, and I just thought, why not?
So you put the tape in the inspector's bag?
Yes.
To set her up?
Yeah. And to see what she'd do.
Why?
I knew who she was. I've known since I was 16. And I knew she knew who I was as well. And I just wondered if she'd do anything.
Like try to cover for you?
Yeah.
She did?
Yeah, she did. Didn't think she was gonna, you see. I reckon she dumped me as a baby and that was that. However much trouble I got into, however much I tried...
To make her pay.
You'll also be charged with other traffic offences.
What about the tape?
Tape. I think under the circumstances, mate, we can forget about the tape. You're going to be busy as it is.
Finished?
Yes, I have, Inspector.
Do you mind if I have a word?
Surely.
No, stay. I'd like you to hear this. First of all, Dean, I want to say I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah?
I should have kept you. I should have raised you and looked after you.
Yeah, but you didn't.
No, I didn't. And I regret that very much. But more than that, I regret that you never got the chance to learn from my mistakes. You see, I think we're very alike, you and I.
Yeah, right. My uniforms are the cleaners.
No, think about it, Dean. At 16, I gave you up for adoption. I thought I wasn't good enough to be your mother. At 16, you started getting into trouble.
I wasn't good enough for you.
No. Look, I'm just saying, we're mother and son. Nothing can ever change that. I don't want to replace Linda Hartley. But I'll always be here for you.
2 dozen fruits, and Jeannie says the cake's the best she could do at short notice.
Thank you, Chris.
And I'll get Len to help you. Len!
I'm not drinking. Take those out.
In fact, shouldn't you still be in hospital?
No, because she's with me.
Ah, right, I should have known that.
We're going to a party together, aren't we?
Dash's mum's birthday. I'm a ring-in.
Well, luckily, we like ring-ins at our party.
Does Lucy's mum know?
Of course she knows.
She's cool. Said she'd see me tomorrow.
Right. Constable, could I just have a little word with you, please?
Lucy, can you go and show Len where the car's parked? Thank you. What?
What do you mean, what? Dash, it's not that simple, you know. You can't just adopt every troubled kid that you're going to come across as long as you're wearing a uniform.
I know that. But it's better than leaving a miserable in a hospital bed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's better than that.
Yeah, well then.
Well, just don't expect too much from her, OK?
And the smudging of the prints. It was an accident.
Oh, it should be good for a couple of free kicks later on, eh? I'm joking.
Dean, do you need a lift? I have to go right past in Linda's.
Why not?
Thank you.
Good luck.
Nick, have you seen the latest Police Gazette?
No, is there something in particular you'd like to look up in the Gazette?
All right, Schultz, hand it over.
Well, as long as you don't get riled. High blood pressure, it's not healthy for you.
Given it to somebody else, have they?
Some grumpy old son.
Yeah, a real slave driver. Right.
Here we are. Appointed to Senior Sergeant Croydon T.
Good on you.
Congratulations.
Senile
Sergeant
no.
November Sierra Whiskey 799.
Affirmative.
Confirmed stolen serial taken this morning from Widgery.
Thanks, Nick. Go.
Please, pull over! Pull the vehicle over, thank you.
Push a keep after it.
Go! Thomas, by the way, to Mount Thomas Station. Stolen serial refuses to stop. Permission to initiate pursuit requested.
PJ's is pursuit justified.
Confirmed stolen vehicle, yes.
By permission granted 508, don't take any unnecessary risks.
Right, stolen serial continues at speed down Widgery Road.
Mount Thomas received, what's your speed?
120 accelerating.
120, boss.
Idiots.
No, don't slow down. Don't
The
slow
boss
down.
said no risks. Oh, God.
Mount Thomas 508 to VKC, we request an ambulance urgently.
Stupid bastard!
Repeat,
You
ambulance
killed your mate, you
urgently
idiot!
on the Widgery Road, just
killed
before
us!
Black Gully
Get
Tunnel.
the ambos!
They're on their way.
Oh, they call us from the hospital?
Yep.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hey! Can I go home now?
All right, mate.
Can I go home?
Where'd you get the stolen car
I've
from?
been in an accident.
Yeah, which you caused. Where's your licence? All right. Tape recorded interview between Senior Detective Hasham and Dean Hartley at 4:31 p.m. Now, Dean, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about a motor vehicle accident you've just been involved in. I must inform you you're not obliged to say or do anything, as anything you say or do may be given as evidence. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
Yep.
Oh, so this is our speed merchant, eh?
Yep, Dean Hartley.
Proud of yourself, son?
How's the other one?
Maggie reckons he's not too good. He's still unconscious.
He'll be okay, right?
What do you care?
You young blokes, you reckon you're immortal, don't you? Charges?
Dangerous driving for starters, car theft. Might even be involved in our spare parts racket.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't give me that.
Yeah, all right, PJ. Sit down over there. Any priors?
A couple of children's court matters and one drunken disorderly since then.
Right. I said sit down.
Ow!
What's the matter?
My shoulder, it hurts.
Yeah, sure, mate. Sure it does.
No,
You better
it
get the
does.
doctor to check him out.
No, he's trying it on, boss. He was fine on the way over here, and he was fine at the crash site, wasn't he?
Yes,
all right.
you're all right. Better safe than sorry. McKinley Cooper, take Mr. Hartley over to the hospital.
Definitely senior sergeant material. Note the firm and decisive manner.
Come on, Dean.
You'd better check out the crash vehicle, thanks, Doyle.
A Falcon 1995 model belonging to Lance Pritchard of 14 Grove Street, Widgery, taken from outside his front door, boss.
Same MO as the others.
Yeah, it was spotted outside the old wrecker's yard.
And he took off when he saw us.
Probably going to get stripped down for parts.
Where are you going?
Can have a chat to young Dean Hart.
Hang on.
That was the hospital. Dean Hartley's staying in overnight. He's broken his collarbone.
Not such a good time for you to have one of your little chats, PJ.
The boss is right.
Yeah, I suppose so.
In the meantime, I'd like Pritchard's neighbours checked out. Somebody might have seen someone hanging around that Falcon of his. And could somebody try and find out who owns the wrecker's yard?
And you'll be okaying the AT, will you there, boss?
What are we, clock watchers?
Well, you know.
Mind you, some of us seem to have stopped work already.
Oh, I'm sorry, boss. It's my sister Judy.
Oh, really?
Sorry, a squeak.
Oh, never mind. First thing tomorrow morning will be okay. I suppose we could all do with a beer anyway.
So I hear congratulations are in order.
What?
Your promotion's